To a subject that we have focused a lot on here on The One Show. We're talking plastics in our seas.
And Jenny's been to see how an Australian invention is helping clean up coastlines right around the UK.
Here in the coastal town of Bangor, County Down, they're unleashing a new weapon in the war against plastics polluting the ocean. It's called the Sea Bin. Stephen Addy from North Down and Ards Council is the man behind the project.
So tell me, Stephen, what is the whole idea behind the Sea Bin?
In Ards and North Down Council area, we are surrounded by water. We have 115 miles of beautiful coastline and all the harbours and marinas like this one in Bangor. We have to protect that. We have a lot of tourists that come here because it's a beautiful place. And as I say, the Sea Bin is the next, I suppose, tool in us trying to keep it as clean as possible.
The Sea Bin works by sucking in water thanks to a small pump attached and submerged under the surface. After that, it's all quite basic, really.
It works a wee bit like, I suppose, a giant sieve. It sits just under the surface of the water, and just in here is where everything's trapped. So the seawater goes in and drains out the bottom, but leaving all the plastics in there, including the microplastics, which are the stuff that's killing the wildlife, the birds and the fish. And it's those horrific pictures you see on the TV all the time. That's the microplastics, and you'll see it later. There's loads of that.
The idea for Sea Bins originally comes from Australia, where two surfers got so fed up with the coastline rubbish, they invented the Sea Bin. And after a demo of their prototype was watched over 350 million times online, it was clear there was interest from all over the world. We're a long way from the warm waters of Oz here in County Down, but the results are just as impressive. The average Sea Bin can catch an estimated 1.5 kilograms of floating debris per day, including microplastics as small as 2 millimetres.
There you go. There's a bottle top. These are the kind of main culprits we find. Coffee lids. Like there's a girl's hairband.
Oh, wow.
When you look through the seaweed, it's all completely contaminated with small balls of polystyrene.
So there's a wee tiny bit of plastic there.
Yeah, so it's not great. But look, all that's now out of the sea, and we can send it off.
So are Sea Bins the answer to our plastic pollution problem? Or are they just a drop in the ocean, so to speak? Marine biologist Jade Berman thinks we need to be a little sceptical.
What do you think of this idea of the Sea Bin?
I think the Sea Bin is a good start. It is something that will make a bit of a difference in that marina.
So do you see any negatives with the Sea Bin?
There may be the possibility of it collecting plankton, which is taking some of the really tiny creatures, which include things that can't swim against the current, like jellyfish, for example, and they may clog up, and that might mean it can't collect as much plastic. It also takes that life out of the food chain. So there really needs to just be a little bit of research to find out how that might be having an impact in the local area as well.
And do you think this sort of idea could be scaled up in the future?
I think we'd have to be very careful about that. In terms of the projects that are already out there that have been scaled up, like the ocean cleanup, there's a big worry that they're basically, because they're just passively collecting, all of that planktonic life, which provides the basis of all the food that we eat and all the food that everything else in the ocean eats, could all be swept up into that.
So what do you think is the answer?
The answer is prevention is better than cure.
In the meantime, if his Sea Bins can help rid the world's oceans of plastic in any way, then Stephen is determined to keep collecting the rubbish. And today, he's invited The One Show to launch the latest Sea Bin.
Oh, that was fun. Can I keep it? I now declare this Sea Bin officially open. Yay! There she blows.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny.